Hello and welcome back to our Spring Boot series. In today's video, we'll dive deep into the concept of field injection. Let's get started. Field injection in Spring Framework is when you use annotations like it auto-wired directly on class fields to let Spring handle the dependency injection. This means that Spring will automatically inject the necessary beans into these fields at runtime. How field injection works. In field injection, you annotate a class field with it auto-wired, and Spring handles the creation and injection of the dependency into that field. This is typically done without the need for a setter method or constructor arguments. Suppose the field injection controller requires a greeting service and uses field injection to obtain it. First, Spring creates a bean of greeting service like this: greeting service equals new greeting service impl. Next, Spring constructs an instance of field injection controller like this: field injection controller equals new field injection controller. After the beans are ready, Spring needs to inject greeting service into field injection controller. Since fields are often private, Spring uses Java reflection to manage this injection. Normally, private fields are not accessible from outside their class. However, Spring temporarily overrides this by making the field accessible with field.setAccessible true. With the field now accessible, Spring injects the greeting service instance into field injection controller. This is done using the set method of the field class. In our constructor injection video, we created the greeting service and its implementation greeting service impl, which contains the getGreeting method returning welcome to our channel. In this demo, we will use the same class for field injection to demonstrate a different approach to injecting dependencies in Spring. Let's get started. Create a new class for the field injection demo, and name this class field injection controller. Next, let's annotate our field injection controller class with @REST controller. Now, within our field injection controller, define a variable that will hold the instance of greeting service. To enable dependency injection by field injection in our field injection controller, we need to annotate our greeting service field with the @autowired annotation. This tells Spring to automatically inject the required greeting service dependency into this field when creating an instance of the controller. Now that we have our greeting service injected, let's create a public method that will use this service. We'll name this method greetings. It will call the getGreeting method from our greeting service and return the response. Now, let's add a getMapping annotation to our greetings method to specify the request path. This annotation makes our method respond to HTTP GET requests. We'll set the path to field/injection/greeting. This means that whenever a GET request is made to this URL, our greetings method will be called, and it will return the greeting message from our greeting service. Start Spring Boot application. Our Spring Boot application has now started on port 8090. Let's open a web browser to test the field injection code. Type localhost 8090/field/injection/greeting into the address bar and press enter. As you can see on the screen, we have received the expected response. This demonstrates that Spring has successfully injected the dependency using field injection. Field injection may seem convenient at first glance, but it comes with several drawbacks that can impact the maintainability and reliability of your code. One major concern is testability. When dependencies are injected directly into fields using Spring's @autowired annotation, testing becomes trickier. Without the Spring context, you'll have to manually insert dependencies during testing, which can be error-prone and cumbersome. On the other hand, constructor injection allows for seamless testing by easily passing mock dependencies through the constructor. Another issue is immutability. With field injection, fields holding dependencies must be declared non-final, potentially allowing them to be modified after object construction. This violates the principle of immutability, which can lead to unexpected behavior. Constructor injection with final fields ensures that dependencies cannot be changed post-construction, resulting in safer and more reliable code. There's also the clarity and safety aspect. Field injection doesn't mandate passing dependencies through a constructor, making it unclear at the point of instantiation which dependencies are required for proper functionality. This lack of clarity can lead to runtime errors if dependencies aren't satisfied. Constructor injection, by making dependencies explicit at object creation, mitigates this risk. Furthermore, field injection can violate the solid principles. Specifically, field injection can violate the dependency inversion principle, part of the solid principles, which advocates for depending upon abstractions, not concrete implementations. By injecting fields directly, classes become tightly coupled to the dependency injection framework and its runtime behavior, which can make the code less modular and harder to manage. Framework dependency. Using field injection ties your code closely to the Spring framework, as it relies on Spring to instantiate your objects properly. This can make it harder to reuse the code in a different context where Spring is not the dependency injection framework in use. Lastly, concurrency issues can arise due to non-final fields in field injection. There is a potential risk when dealing with multi-threaded applications. The state of such an object could be changed by one thread while another is operating on it, leading to inconsistent behavior. Constructor injection is often recommended over field injection. With constructor injection, all dependencies are provided via the constructor, allowing for immutability and easier testing, as dependencies can be easily mocked or replaced. To sum up, while field injection can be useful for certain scenarios, it's typically recommended to opt for constructor injection due to its advantages in promoting immutability and easing testing. However, if you're working with legacy code, you might frequently encounter field injection. In such cases, understanding how to work with and gradually refactor these instances can be crucial. Consider using constructor injection in new components to ensure better code practices moving forward. That's a wrap on field injection. If you found this information helpful, please give us a like and subscribe for more insights into Spring Boot. Drop your questions or topics you'd like us to cover in the comments below. Thanks for watching and happy coding!